Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Taiko World Cup quarterfinals match. We have New Zealand versus Indonesia. It is 10 UTC, very sunny where I am in the UK, joined by another UK caster, the wonderful Teasel.
It's also sunny here. What a coincidence. Is it sunny in New Zealand and Indonesia? I don't know. Yeah, seeds.
Yeah, we'll see who the sun shines on this
Maybe we can ask them. But here we go. Seed 16 versus 24. You might be thinking, oh, New Zealand have got this in the bag. But what you don't know, or maybe you do, that Indonesia took out seed 15 yesterday to make it to this match, which was Slovakia. So perhaps a bit of an underdog team. And, you know, they have done well so far. I believe they also topped their group as the middle-seeded team. So here we are.
Yeah,
Should be a good match.
Indonesia have done really stunningly well to get this far. Last match, it was, Sarah really popped off. Had a 2-100 FC on the No Mod 2, which is a very impressive score. Actually had Sparks casting that one with me, and they were very impressed and probably a little concerned with what they were seeing from Indonesia. But New Zealand is a very, very strong team, and yeah, we'll see what they can do. I think, yet again, the advantage is against Indonesia, but that hasn't stopped them so far. And we've got Hard Rock 2 ban from New Zealand and a No Mod 4 ban from Indonesia with a first pick of DT2.
Yeah, DT2 seems fair. One thing that New Zealand has an advantage of here is that they haven't played a match yet this weekend. So their scores are still kind of secret to them. Whereas Indonesia has played a match that had 9 maps played total. So New Zealand has a lot more information to work off of than Indonesia does. So yeah, they're probably going to try to take that to their advantage as much as possible.
Exactly. And for all of you watching, obviously, if you don't know already, obviously New Zealand have got a little bit of a funny naming thing going on. As you can see, New Zealand just swapped out for New Zealand. So if you want to know who is who, you can use I think it's the New Zealand command? Oh yeah, Zealand command in chat to see which player is which. Helpful little guide. But yeah, so we've got New Zealand and Zealand up for New Zealand against FC2 and Sarah.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where I've forgotten, like, who's who. So...
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go, DT. Starting out with all but New Zealand, picking up 100s. New Zealand's the player, of course.
Yeah, New Zealand is, I believe, the Zedox in this case. And regular old Zealand is Oldhurst. Yeah. Yeah, opening well here. I mean, this is their pick, so somewhat expected.
Yeah, so they're surely going to be very confident on this one. So far, building up a decent lead just thanks to the accuracy. But, you know, still holding on to the full combos for the side of Indonesia. Ready to snap that back up if New Zealand doesn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, yeah, pretty much everyone's... Ooh, couple 100 drops there from Zealand, keeping the score narrow, but stabilising back at about 11,000 points. Yeah, Zedox or New Zealand in the top left with a really stunning accuracy, but we're only just about halfway through. And whilst this is a nice little margin, a couple misses can change it. There was one for Zealand, but traded by Sarah. Ooh, and the left C2 missing as well. That is looking very good for the side of New Zealand now. Hold the 1 FC on their side.
Yeah, things are looking good for New Zealand on their opening pick. Taking that score lead up to over 50,000 points. About a third of the map left to go. We have a slower section here, but we'll pick it back up again. But unless they have a pretty significant collapse, I think they've got this one.
Yeah, but never say never. There's been a couple last-minute switches in these matches. Maps can be decided in the last couple of notes. All it takes is one pattern to go awry, and all of a sudden you can turn a victory into a defeat. But yeah, New Zealand got a very comfortable lead here. They can afford sort of 1 or 2 clean breaks. Ooh, speaking of,
there's a clean break, but
there's one of them.
Definitely don't want to be losing the combo. It's going to help Indonesia take the lead slightly over to their side. Thanks to the combo advantage. Now hovering about 40,000 points. They'll slowly shrink a bit more, but they're definitely going to have to see another miss or two from New Zealand in order to take this point back. With the outro, I don't really see that taking place too much, but
yeah, at least not with 40,000 points worth.
Not over till it's over, but there we go.
1/100.
Oh, 2.
Oh, 2 100s, yes, a finisher as well. But yeah, that is a very, very impressive score there from Mr. New Zealand, or Zedox. And a strong opening for them.
Good plays all around with everyone else. Fairly equal scores, similar 100 counts, similar miscounts as well. Fairly similar scores total. Just Zedox or New Zealand just coming out on top compared to everyone else. And securing New Zealand their first point on their first pick.
Yeah. And now it's time for Indonesia's first pick. And they're going to go with No Mod 3. Bold choice, I suppose, to go from DT2 straight into No Mod 3.
Yeah, so just going from one speed map to the other, but this one is quite a bit faster, being a bit over 290 BPM, I believe. 296.
Yeah, out that, yeah, 296. Just shy of 300. An interesting pick, especially if you've lost speed, to go into a quicker speed map, but maybe it's just a case of they can still play this speed, they just require, or they're relying on their accuracy to pull them through.
Yeah, imagine we probably wouldn't see any swaps here.
Yeah, I think the lineups, you'd imagine they remain the same.
Okay. We're getting ready. I mean, that's one way to stay fit, I suppose. Push-ups between every map.
Yeah, Sarah said about the nerves yesterday in their match, but they they said they were nervous. They're gonna do some push-ups, and we joked about it then, and then they pulled through. So we'll see what they've got coming in now.
This map has a bit of a slow start, a couple of slower sections as well, which is kind of like single tappy kind of sections, but this is the main meat of what this map is all about. Yeah. Fairly comfy patterns, but just very high BPM.
Yeah, for those who aren't aware, yesterday Sarah said they were nervous and they were going to do some push-ups. And that was before they 2-100'd the No Mod 2, which was a terrifying score. So they're deploying the strategy once again on their first pick, holding well so far. F2Z is the one that drops a couple 100s, and I mean the score is basically tied now between New Zealand and Indonesia, but some misses from Sarah.
Yeah, an unfortunate place to miss as well, just right around the combo cap. Oh, messing up on the finishers as well. It's looking good for New Zealand on Indonesia's first pick.
Yeah, it is. New Zealand are a very, very strong team. And it takes some undoing, especially when they've got the likes of Jay and Zedox on their side. I did think this was an interesting one.
Named the wrong player.
I named the wrong player. Damn. Who's Zealand? Zealand is.
It's not Jay.
It's not Jay. Jay's not. Not Jay. Not Jay at all. Completely wrong.
Bulthurst, I believe you said.
Bolter. Why did I? It's because Jay was in the VC before the match. But anyway.
Yes, it is.
New Zealand enjoying a comfortable lead.
Oh, just as you say that, New Zealand picks up some misses on the finishers.
That's twice this has happened.
New Zealand should be able to keep the lead, but it's going to make things a bit scarier for them.
Yeah, one big pattern miss here could send it over to Indonesia. They've got to be careful. Ooh, but it's Sarah picks up some misses. Traded by New Zealand, but it's clean.
So Indonesia does have the combo advantage here. New Zealand has to be really careful if they want to take this early break point.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Another clean
It's
miss.
not quite enough, but
yeah.
That could have been sketchy.
Yeah.
But thankfully for New Zealand, the misses were very clean.
Yeah, had those misses not been clean, it would have been trouble. One miss, 1-100 from New Zealand, and a 12-100 FC from FZ2. Very well done.
Yeah, great combo and lobby MVP.
Yeah, 2-0 to New Zealand with an early break point. Now just up to their third pick. They're going to go with Hidden 1. Now, they don't know... I believe No More 3 and DT were played by Indonesia against their opponent, Slovakia. But Slovakia banned Hidden 1, so New Zealand won't have really any idea of what Indonesia can pull off on this kind of map. But just relying on their own ability to pull through here. Got New Zealand and Old Zealand stepping in, so Zerox and Sparks had to consult the graph.
Yeah, Sparks being a very classic hidden player. Makes sense for the swap out here. Of course, Indonesia makes some swaps as well. We have a Payabola and someone else too.
Sarah stepped in for a second, asking about inviting HC, so we'll see who steps in a moment.
Yeah, I'm imagining that this map will be fairly favoured to New Zealand, but I think Indonesia can probably put up a decent fight on it too.
Yeah. This was a bit scary when you're playing a team like this and you're picking a map that you don't know what they can do on it, but we'll see. I don't think Indonesia did pretty okay with the Hidden 2 against Slovakia, and Indonesia requesting a timeout, I believe. Looks like they're trying to get FHZ into the lobby, but maybe having a little bit of difficulty getting them in there just at the moment, so buying themselves a little bit of time.
Yeah, it looks like they're just wanting to make sure they get FHZ in here. There we go.
There we go.
All is good.
Not sure if that consumed Indonesia's timeout or not, but either way, the lineup is here.
Rejoin.
Yeah, possibly res check or offset check on a Hidden 1. That kind of makes sense.
Of course, of course. You only get one shot after all.
Yeah. And with that, looks like everybody is ready to go, and we get underway with the third map of the match, this Hidden 1.
Yes, this is the slower hidden pick. Bit more focused on the reading, but it still has its own difficulties in terms of mechanics, but 5.5 stars. 165 BPM, but 3 minutes long, so a lot of concentration needed.
Yeah, 5.5 stars, always a bit misleading. This is a very, very difficult map with hidden. As we get a little bit of an awkward opening with those finishers. Indonesia handling it just a little bit better. And we'll have a small app lead at the start, but that can all change. As, ooh, yeah. But drops some accuracy, but Old Zealand drops a miss.
A lot of accuracy drops from New Zealand as well. FHZ, incredibly strong on this one.
Yeah, looking really good on this opening. Yeah, it's so tight between these two.
So New Zealand just trying to take the lead over to their side. Still very minimal though.
Yeah, Indonesia do have the combo advantage, but it's just the accuracy in the 100s dropping from every player as the score goes back and forth and back and forth. Little break section. New Zealand find themselves in the lead, but only by a tiny margin. And as they drop some 100s, that margin shrinks even more. Halfway through, and there's not but a whisker between these two teams.
Yeah, here we go into the Kiai. SV does speed up a bit, but still some tricky patterns. The 1-8 triples, potential to throw players off, but everyone's chilling.
Yeah, 100 drops from the Indonesia, but New Zealand don't trade them back. So they're building on this lead right now. It's looking pretty good for them.
Yeah, out to 30k. Biggest lead that we've seen in the map.
FHZ, who had such a strong opening, struggling just a little bit now. We would probably need to see some misses or some pretty terrible 100 drops from the side of New Zealand if Indonesia want to bring this back. But at the moment, the score lead just growing and growing in the favour of New Zealand.
Not much map left to go as the outro.
Looked a little bit shaky for the first sort of half of that map. It was very close, but New Zealand clutching up in the second half to bring the point home. 3 FCs in the lobby, but the best accuracy actually coming from Old Zealand despite that one miss.
Yeah, good performance. Yeah, as you say, slightly rough start, but they got it covered. Very nice full combos on this lobby as well.
Yeah. But with that, New Zealand go 3-0 up. Indonesia will have one more pick. Well, not one more pick. Indonesia will have their pick again.
Where should they go?
It's certainly tough. They've lost a DT, a hidden, and a no mod. Their opponents did ban Hard Rock 2. Is Hard Rock 1 maybe a consideration for them? Possibly. Possibly not. Maybe a free mod even, but they've sort of seen that New Zealand can handle their mods, at least hidden, very well. And they're going to go with hidden 2.
I was thinking
bold play.
Maybe they could attempt No Mod 2 again and see if they can get another crazy set of scores, but hidden 2 seems okay.
Yeah. And that is a bold score there. Bold score? A bold move there from Indonesia. To lose the hidden 1 and go hidden 2. They performed on this pretty well against Slovakia, if I do remember, but New Zealand do have some strong hidden players in Sparks, as you say.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to stick with what they know that they'll do decent at, and then just hoping that it works out. Which a lot of the time is kind of how your strategy goes.
Yeah. And Apajbola stepping in again with Acer.
We're going to be sick of New Zealand and Old Zealand. Makes sense, they're the two main hidden players for New Zealand, so...
Yeah, this is a tough lineup for Indonesia to go against. But we'll see what they can do.
Alright, looks like they're getting ready. So in the last one we saw quite a few people pick up a ton of 100s at the beginning. Maybe not a ton of 100s this time, but players on both sides picking up a couple 100s. Getting into the swing of things.
I think there's literally one apiece. Oh, two now. Oh, traded back. Still very close in these opening stages, but we've still got a fair bit of map left to go.
Yeah, 240 BPM. There's a bit on the speeder side. OD7, 6.8 stars. Not to be messed around with. New Zealand do maintain the lead, but it's really minimal. And now Indonesia have it. Just a couple 100 drops here.
Ooh, big miss there from Apajbola. And that's unfortunate. New Zealand does trade a miss back, but it is a very clean miss as opposed to what was a big miss there from Indonesia. Stems the tide, but with another big set of chain misses. This is quickly turning against Indonesia, as they are now 80,000 points behind, and a miss from Acer, clean though it is, means there's no full combos on the side of Indonesia, and still one remaining for New Zealand.
Yeah, Old Zealand helping to carry the score for New Zealand onto their side, hopping around 100,000 now.
Yeah, and the map is approaching the last section. It's hard to see New Zealand losing this unless something really awful happens to really both of their players in this last section, but they are holding so very well. With more misses there from Apajbola, I think that is going to be another break point for New Zealand as they climb now to 120,000 points in the lead.
That's the danger of these streamy maps. It can be so easy to pick up a bunch of chain misses, and of course, as you see, 21 100s total, but 38 misses, and a good chunk of those 100s would have come in around those misses as well. So definitely the potential for much better score, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Indonesia. But yeah, they've still got at least one more pick and at least 2 more points. Many chances to try and take something off of New Zealand here, but it will be their pick again as they're 4-0 up.
Yeah,
having a very good start.
A very nice full combo from Old Zealand there as well. 99.5 on the dot. Very clean.
Yeah. Not all over for the Indonesians, of course. In fact, they did open up their match against Slovakia by going 5-0 in the lead before they dropped 3 points, and it was looking like the momentum was shifting. So it's never really over in these matches until it is over. But yeah, New Zealand in a very, very strong position right now as they will have their third pick to try and take this to a 5-0 match point.
Yeah, of course, New Zealand do still want to be careful with their picks. They've got really great momentum, but they absolutely don't want to lose it. They're up 2 break points. Don't want to be passing any of those back over.
And New Zealand will be going with no mod 2.
Talk about bold picks.
Yeah.
Of course, we saw Indonesia play this yesterday. And we've seen probably one of the best scores of this weekend on it. With Sarah getting 2 100s.
Well, that was a very that was a very, very impressive score from Sarah. Do they have what it takes to pull it off a second time? Will they deploy some more push-ups to help with the nerves and maybe get a repeat of what they did yesterday? Because if they can do that, there is a chance for Indonesia here to take a point. But yeah, I think they do. New Zealand is so strong on. I mean, I expect them to be very strong on this map. So. And even New Zealand, they're giving respect to Sarah for what they managed to accomplish in the match yesterday.
Yeah, it looks like Ray struggled with the map a bit more in yesterday's match compared to Sarah, but it's never over till it's over.
Yeah, and that's probably the big concern here from Indonesia is, yes, Sarah could surely pull off another truly amazing score, but it doesn't matter if they don't quite have the backup they need. But we'll see, because, I mean, that was a very impressive score, but yeah, who knows, was it a one-off, or will Sarah be able to make it happen twice? Time to find out. The opening act advantage for the Indonesians as Old Zealand dropping a fair few 100s on the opening.
Yeah, Indonesia taking the lead. Not by a huge amount.
But it is there nonetheless.
Yeah, plenty of sections to drop 100s here, there and everywhere. There is a star player to be watching out for. Why did I say anything?
Dropped the SS, but is still holding a phenomenal score right now in the lobby, and Indonesia are still in this point. Ray drops a couple of 100, but there's still almost nothing in it, and we have seen New Zealand have been dropping some 100s. Old Zealand recovering from their earlier struggles fairly nicely, but the team's still dropping 100s, and it shoots over to the side of Indonesia once again. Helped massively by Sarah, but that's a miss from Ray.
Again, it doesn't drop too much accuracy, but it is going to give New Zealand the combo advantage. But that's a bigger set of misses.
Yeah, that is tough. And it's going to be difficult for Indonesia to come back from this. They still have Sarah absolutely holding down the fort right now. But they'll need to see some serious act drops, or more realistically a miss or two from the New Zealanders in order to pull this back.
Yeah, it's 30k. That is enough that if the player in New Zealand gets a good set of misses on the patterning like this, they can pass back over.
But the score holds at about 30,000 points. And Sarah, there's no way you're about to do this again.
Oh,
again.
How many 100s is that?
3!
That's insane.
No discredit to New Zealand, who got 7 100s, but Sarah has pulled off a 2 100 and a 3 100 FC in back-to-back matches on this map. Sarah saying they tried, and you cannot fault them for that. They most certainly did. A truly amazing performance there from Sarah, and you sort of look at the side of New Zealand and go, yeah, if the player New Zealand hadn't been there or had dropped a bit, hadn't been as consistent with the accuracy, there would have been a very real chance there from Indonesia. But yeah, what a play there from Sarah. 2 scores of the week on the same map in lobby is incredibly impressive, but unfortunately not impressive enough to steal a point from New Zealand, who are now at match point.
Yeah. Match point. Indonesia are going to have to win the next 5 picks in a row in order to take this to the tiebreaker. It's going to be a tough uphill battle. They're going to try start it with no lot of one.
Now, Indonesia did do pretty well on this against Slovakia. There are 3 Zealands on screen. Never mind. Okay, you got New Zealand against Sarah and Asa for this Nomad 1. I think this is a solid play by Indonesia. They showed they can hang in terms of the mechanics. And will they be able to outpack the New Zealanders, though? I think it's going to be the real question here.
Yeah, of course, this New Zealand duo did very well on the sweep picks previously in the match. I mean, Indonesia put up good scores too, so hard to tell. Of course, Nomad 1 is generally all about the consistency. I mean, we've just seen a lot of consistent plays. This is, despite these 2 teams being slightly lower in seeding, the pool is still very accessible to them. We've seen that with kind of different roster swaps and pretty confident scores coming out. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens over the next 2.5 minutes.
Will this be Indonesia's last gasp? Or will they live for one more map after this? So far off the start, they have the accuracy advantage, but it is quite literally, I think, a single 100. And now it is nothing. Couple backdrops from the Indonesians gives New Zealand a small advantage. Only 6,000 points, but growing with each 100 that the Indonesians drop.
Yeah, as expected, it is currently very, very close. One team has to take a slight lead, but of course, it's still well within range that if New Zealand make mistakes, Indonesia are taking this one. They just gotta hold on.
The hardest part of the map.
Wait for that.
Still no major... Oh, and then there's a miss from Asa, just as I was about to say, still no major breaks. It was relatively clean, though, only 20,000 point advantage for the New Zealanders. But there's still a third left of this map to go. It's not all over for Indonesia. They will need someone from New Zealand to make a pretty major mistake here, and so far they don't look like it is within them.
And it's not completely over yet. Only 20k. But if we have a big break on one of these kind of streamier patterns, it could be saved. It could be saved. Indonesia will so badly.
they're within range. The hope is still there, but they are asking for somebody to miss, and the miss comes from the wrong side as Asa picks up another miss once again. And meanwhile, in the top left... Oh! I didn't even finish saying it. My bad. I didn't even finish saying top left. My bad. A shaky miss at the air, but it comes too late to save Indonesia as New Zealand, the player, will choke the SS. My bad. And will still do enough, though, to give New Zealand their 3rd break point and their 6th point and the win.
Yeah, congratulations on the sweep, New Zealand. And fortunately for Indonesia, their time in this World Cup is over. But they've done well. They've done well.
They've done very well. What is this round that they've been eliminated at now? They're top...
top 20... No. Tops... No, I can't do maths. It's fine. But they've done well. They've done well. They've produced some really crazy upsets this tournament, so definitely a memorable run either way.
Yeah.
This is looking great for New Zealand. They'll be advancing on through the losers bracket for next weekend. I'm sure they'll have some really tough opponents, but it looks like they're ready to take them on.
In fact, I think, someone in chat can correct me if I'm wrong, I think this means New Zealand have automatically gotten their best finish.
Oh,
because previously
huge.
Their best finish was last year. They finished 13th to 16th, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this puts them into the top 12.
I'm not very good at this. Maybe.
Yeah,
wait,
I believe so. Somebody correct me in chat if I'm wrong. But in the meantime, we do have a couple more matches today. We have, well, the United Kingdom versus France and Australia versus Portugal. 2 matches that should be very entertaining in just, well, 20 minutes. So yeah, go get some food, some water, and do whatever you want to do, and then come back here and tune in for what will be 2 very, very exciting matches. And then after that, the last 2 matches of this weekend in Finland versus Russia and Seed 2 Chile going up against Seed 7 China. Very exciting matches, but yeah, that will be all from us for now.
Yeah, really exciting matches for the rest of the day, and they're all in a very tight, close together block. So make sure you stick around for those, and then we'll be having the showcase fairly early in the day after the Chile and China match. So if you want to see what's in store for the semi-finals, stick around, and we'll see you there.
See ya.